Hey everybody, it's Carla again with Carla's Clever Crafts, and I am getting back on to do this cute little pink Happy Easter truck. It's got the bunny tail jumping in the back of the bed full of eggs. So that's the sign we're going to design with today. In just a second, and I'm going to try to load comments if my computer's still working. Checked it just before I went live and it was working well. Now it looks like it's kind of just spinning. So I'll go ahead and get started while I'm waiting on that to load up. I'm gonna be using the 14-inch wireframe from the Dollar Tree. It has 6 sections. A section is in between each of these 2 crossbars. And in each section, we're gonna do 3 pipe cleaners because we're doing the cruffle method again. So we're going to put 1 in the middle of the 2 crossbars on these 2 inside wires, and then we're going to come to the outside 2 and put 1 in the middle of this pipe cleaner and this crossbar, and then on the other side we'll go in between the pipe cleaner and this crossbar and put it just as close as you can get it to the middle. As you can see, mine's not perfect, but just as long as you're close it will be fine. We're going to do that in all 6 sections, which will give us 18 pipe cleaners total. 12 around the outside and 6 around the inside. I'm just lining up my pipe cleaners, and then I twist my knot over this inside wire because that will make our mesh and things more stable. When I first started making wreaths, I used to twist it around this outside wire because I thought that would give me more width to my overall design. But what ends up happening is your mesh and your ribbon that's attached to this pipe cleaner is just wobbly and it kind of rocks back and forth on the edge there. So that's why now I always wire on the inside ring that I'm working on. Check this again real quick. It looks like it's loaded. Yay. Okay. So I'm going to put 2 on the outside 2 rings. Okay, so now we're all ready to start making our cruffles, and we're going to start getting those ready to add to this. I'm going to go ahead and move the styrofoam now that I finished wiring it because I think you'll be able to see fine. I'm going to be using this really pretty beige mesh. It's got like gold stripes going through it, and then we're going to also use the white, just plain white value mesh. This mesh came from Hobby Lobby, and this one came from bbcrafts.com. They're both 10-inch meshes, and all of my pieces are 16 to 17 inches long. We're going to do only beige around the bottom. Okay. So to do my cruffles, I just lay it out with the curl part up, and then I just fold over the beginning, and then roll it 2, 3, 4 times. Put my clip on to hold my curl, and then turn it around, and I'm going to make a curl on the other end. I'm going to take the two curls and turn them upside down and scrunch down the middle, kind of make like a ruffled effect. Take my clip off and pinch them between my fingers, and then I'm just going to start laying them on the outside 12 pipe cleaners. We're going to go all the way around those first. We're not going to do anything with the inside 6. Put your finished edge to the inside and the outside. And squeeze really tight. Remember to make these bottom pieces of mesh, you want them to be attached really tightly to the frame. And I'm just going to repeat the same process all the way around those 12 pipe cleaners on the outside. So you need 12 pieces of this beige mesh. Pink and beige and white together seem to be my most popular Easter designs for some reason. I don't know, it must just be that color combination really catches people's eyes, because I tend to sell more of wreaths with design with those 3 colors than any other colors. Oh. Just got really dark in my house. We've had some, it's been a beautiful sunny day, but very windy. So I'm just waiting. It almost feels like a storm is on its way. And this mesh came from Hobby Lobby. I only buy their mesh when they put it on sale, and they've changed their sale schedules and stuff recently to where I can't even keep up with when their mesh is on sale. So if you're wanting to purchase it there, you just have to check and see when it's on sale. But I think it's like 40% off now. They used to do 50% off, but I think it's 40 now. And then it's not this exact mesh, but Craft Outlet has one that's very similar. That's this beige color with the gold running through it. It just has a little bit different pattern, but it would work just as well on this as also. I'm actually going to have to order some more of this, and that's why I was looking online. If Hobby Lobby doesn't have theirs on sale, I'm just going to go ahead and get it from Craft Outlet. I'm not a fan of waiting to make my purchases on a business's sale schedule. It's inconvenient to me, and I would just rather take my business somewhere else if I can get that product somewhere else. I buy very little mesh at Hobby Lobby now because of that. It didn't used to be too bad when it was every other week and it was 50% off, but now they've raised their prices. They've changed the percentage off to 40, and it's not a consistent sale schedule, or at least I can't figure out a schedule for it. And I've put behind my florals there for similar reasons. I just ordered from Greenery Market for the first time. Their prices are excellent. Their prices are always the same, and the quality was highly impressive. So I'm going to be ordering from them more, I'm sure of it. And then I've also noticed, because I watch Deco Exchange Lives, and I noticed they have some really nice greenery and florals. So I think I'm going to also try them out. Everybody says all of their materials and stuff are really high quality, so I've been wanting to order from them anyway. So I think I'm going to do that soon. we've got 4 more of these to go. And then we'll start laying our ribbons in. This is a heavier, thicker mesh, so it does give you good coverage, even with just one layer. I mean, we can still see the wire a little bit, but we're getting real good coverage with this mesh. Looks like I cut an extra one. That's an unusual there. This is our last piece of mesh. Okay, so when I put my last piece of mesh on this bottom row, I always go to the piece of mesh to the right and pull out the end and layer it over top of the last piece I put in. That way all of our meshes are laying in the same pattern all the way around. Oops. Okay, so that's what we have so far. So let me grab some of our ribbons. Let me grab one of these. Okay, so I am using this cute little ribbon. It's got a white background and it's got like iridescent glitter. It's got little pink and purple bunnies and bunny tails and eggs on it. That came from the Dollar Tree last year. That's some of that ribbon that I still have from the Dollar Tree. And then I'm using this real pretty 2.5 inch pink, like a light pink, medium pink. This came from Craft Outlet. And then I'm using this really super cute pink bunny truck. And this is a 1.5 inch ribbon. And this came from Hobby Lobby. I bought this from there last year. And then our 4th ribbon is got like a beige background, and it's got Easter sentiments, like Happy Easter, written in all different colors throughout it. This one came from the Dollar Tree too. I bought it last year when I bought the one with the bunnies. Okay. You're going to, if you want to make this design, you're going to need 9 pieces of the truck cut to 12 inches, 9 pieces of the Happy Easter on the beige background cut to 12-inch pieces. You will need 6 12-inch pieces of the pink and 6 12-inch pieces of the bunny. Okay, now I've already cut these 3 of these bunnies in half to give us our 6-inch pieces we're going to use. So I'll show you with the pink, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to take 3 of your pieces. So you have 6 total. You're going to take 3 of those and just line up the ends of them the best you can. You're going to fold those in half. Maybe I'm going to do these 2 at a time because they're not laying right. Okay. fold them in half. Just give it a little crease, and then take your scissors, cut along the crease. And then that, when you cut all 3 pieces, will give you 6 6-inch pieces of pink and 6 6-inch pieces of the bunny. I think this piece of ribbon might have been a little bit shorter, might be why it wasn't laying right. But even if it is, it'll still look fine in our design. No, looks the same. I don't know. Okay, so I'm gonna put in our 6-inch pieces first. I'm gonna start with the pink, and the way that I put in my 6-inch pieces is I lay it in front of me and I scrunch right along the flat edge that we did in dovetail, the edge right where we cut it in half. I pinch it between my fingers like that, and then I come and I lay it right in the pipe cleaner, right in the middle of the piece of Deco mesh we're going over top of. Squeeze it very tight, and then I just fluff out my tail. Now your tail is going to come straight out the middle of the piece of mesh that you're putting it on. And then I'm going to rotate these. So I'll do a pink, and then a bunny, and then a pink, and then a bunny. That one's, I don't know, I felt like it had something hard on it. Looks like I dripped glue on it, you guys. See if we can salvage this, or if I'm going to ruin the piece of ribbon. Oh, I think I got it off. It's almost off. Oh, I did, and I didn't damage the ribbon. That's awesome. Okay, so we'll use that one next. We need to do pink because we're rotating the pattern. And we're going to put all 6-inch pieces in exactly the same way. Straight out the middle of the piece of mesh you're laying it on. I tend to be pretty messy with hot glue, you guys, so that's what at some point I've dropped hot glue on this piece of ribbon. Where do I get my mesh? This mesh came from Hobby Lobby, the beige with the gold foil through it. Craft Outlet has one that's very similar to this. And then this white mesh came from bbcrafts.com. It's their value mesh, and this is less than $4 a roll, and they almost always have a sale going on. It's usually about 15% off. So, and then if you order a certain, I think it's $100 or something like that, you get free shipping. And so I use so much mesh that I just always make sure when I'm ready to order that I have enough of a quantity that I get the free shipping. And same with Craft Outlet. I think it's over $69 at Craft Outlet. You get free shipping. Craft Outlet also has a rewards, a point system to where you get, I think it's like 5 points. I don't know, you would have to read, but I usually end up getting like $5 to $10 off of every order that I place with the points that I've built up. A couple times I've even gotten $20 off, so that's really nice. That's like 3 or 4 rolls of ribbon, depending on what kind you get. How are you today? I've just been sitting around here all day crafting and designing. Yeah, this mesh is really pretty. It goes really well with this truck. Oops, there went that piece of glue in there. The eggs, I'm not sure if you can see on the camera, but in the background they have like what looks like a fake burlap pattern look. So it goes really good with the beige mesh. Thank you very much. I do these 6-inch pieces of ribbon. I came up with this on my own because I watched how all the other wreath makers did it, and then I would do it, and I just felt like I was wasting so much ribbon because it overlapped so badly when you use all 12-inch pieces that half of it ended up hidden anyway. And then on top of that, you can see none of your mesh. So once you put all that ribbon on there, you lose some of your ribbon tails and you can't see your mesh at all. So I started doing this little 6-inch trick, and I really like it. I like the way the final result comes out because I can still see some of my mesh. I can see all my ribbon tails. I don't feel like I'm wasting money. So it's really worked for me. It's a little more difficult to put them in because you have to do, you know, one at a time and then go back and do the 12 inches, but it's worth it to me. I like the overall look that it gives. Okay, so now, oh, no, I put that upside down, you guys. Pretty side of the ribbon has to go up, facing upward. Okay, and now we're just going to come back around with our 12-inch pieces. I'll start with the truck. I'm going to do the truck over the pink. And so I just lay my 12-inch piece in front of me, scrunch in the middle, and V it back towards myself. Make sure these two ends are even, that they line up. And then I just pinch it into like a V shape, and then lay it right into my pipe cleaner. Straight in the way that I'm holding it in my hand. Twist 3 or 4 times. Clip it off. And then I just push that extra piece down inside and squeeze it to secure my ribbons. And then I just kind of arch my ribbon tails outward. And then we're going to rotate these. So next I'm going to do this beige with the Happy Easter. And we'll repeat this all the way around these 12 sections that we've been working in. I hope you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay. So just scrunching in the middle, V-ing it back towards myself. Try to make sure my ends are even. And then pick it up in that V shape, and I'm just putting it straight down in so that it V's around the 6-inch piece of ribbon that we put underneath. I need to fix the dovetail on this one. It's a little wonky. And then I'm just rotating these 2 patterns back and forth. done. I have a half a piece of ribbon here somehow. That was clearly the end of the roll because it's got a piece of tape on it. I'm not sure why it's in my pile. Hopefully I didn't count that half a piece. Okay. Do the truck. This little pink truck is really cute. And I did get this at Hobby Lobby last year. I don't know if they have it this year or not. But it was the only pink truck I could find to go with my pink sign. All the other ribbons I found had like blue or green. But I had a hard time finding pink. Yeah, and I did mess up my count. That's okay. I've got the ribbon handy, so we can just cut one piece real quick. Use this piece to measure it. Oh, well that makes sense. I put it back on the roll instead of this. Hey, Marilyn. Oh, thank you so much. Hi, Lisa. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoy it. Let me know if you have any questions. So this is our last 12-inch piece on the base. Yeah, I just love the overall look this gives using the 6-inch piece because it really makes a difference because you can still see your mesh. If you look around the base, you can still see that mesh that's under there. And plus you see all your ribbon. So I do a large number of my designs this way. I switch it up sometimes, but most of the time I use that 6-inch piece. Okay, so now we're ready to do our second layer of cruffles, and we're going to do them in white. And so we're going to reach in between. We're going to start working on those 6 pipe cleaners that are on the inside. Remember, this was all laid in the 12 outside pipe cleaners. So now I'm just going to reach inside in between each piece of mesh, and I'm going to pull these inside pipe cleaners to the outside. That way we can start adding mesh and ribbons to those. And the way that I'm doing this design will give you like a 24 to 25 inch wide wreath. And then the depth of it will end up being, it's usually around 5 to 6 inches, depending on how heavy your mesh is that you're using. This one will be a little thicker because this mesh on the base is a little bit heavier. But if you have a thinner mesh that meshes down more, then it may be more like 5 inches. Okay, 2, 3, 4, 5. Forgot one. Okay. Now we're just gonna make cruffles again. So lay my mesh out in front of me. You've watched my videos on YouTube. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I was doing pretty good keeping up with YouTube there for a little bit, and then I kind of fell off the wagon and I realized I hadn't posted any for like 12 or 13 days. So I'm sorry about that. I'm trying to do better about making sure that I post consistently. This is all new to me, and so it's really, getting a schedule down has been a challenge for me. Okay, so to make my cruffle, I'm gonna fold over this first edge, and then I'm just gonna roll it 2, 3, 4 times. Find my clip. And then I just put something on it to hold that first curl so that I can curl the other end the exact same way. Use my pinkies to hold the ends down so those curl under nicely. Whoops. 2, 3, 4. Take my curls, turn them face down. You don't have to do the face down. I just do it because I feel like it better protects these cut edges that sometimes stick out here. So I just like to put them face down in the wreath. I feel like it's just better protection. A lot of people do them face up though. Now I just scrunch up the middle and pinch it between my 2 fingers. And then this time, on the base we laid the mesh with the finished edge to the inside and outside, and this time I'm going to turn it. So I'm going to do a finished edge to the right and to the left. It's going to look like we're going to place 6 bows made out of mesh around our design. So that's what it'll look like. And then as I lay each one, I just try to line up the edges. See, like right here is an example. Here, this is sticking out. So the first thing I do is I try to do my best to tuck it under there. But then also putting this face down will help keep that protected under there. Okay. And when I put my next one in, I just try to make sure I don't mash the one beside it down. And also, I forgot to mention on the first one, don't pull real tight when you're tying these in, or you'll sink your white piece of mesh down inside of the rest of this and you'll lose it, and it'll end up looking kind of like this. So you want it to kind of lay out like a bow, so don't pull too tight. And with the collars, because I know you mentioned the collars earlier, Marilyn. I think it was Marilyn. I usually try, I don't always do it, but I usually try to stay within a 3-collar palette. I just tend to think that those designs usually turn out the best. They're certainly my most popular designs when I stay within a 3-collar. So in this one, for example, my 3 colors are the pink, the beige, and the white. Not, you know, this ribbon and the eggs and stuff has like some purple and yellow and stuff in it, but I try to stay with 3 primary colors. Even if my sign has multiple colors in it, like, well, for example, the eggs in this truck have green and blue and, you know, other colors. I still try to just pick 3 and stick with it. So basically the way I started with my sign, and the pink and white were obvious choices, and then these eggs have like this burlap look in them, like burlap ribbon, and so that's how I picked the beige color to go with it. And then also I've been doing this for a little while, so I know that beige, pink, and white are one of my most popular combos in the Easter season. So that also kind of goes into my decision. My next step, usually after I pick my colors, is looking for a primary ribbon that matches my sign the best that I could possibly find, because I think those two things are key to a good wreath. And so in this case, you know, my primary ribbon would be my pink truck. So actually, when I found it at Hobby Lobby, I'm not gonna lie, because I have a bunch of these pink trucks. I think I bought like 5 rolls. I ordered it online, and you could order a whole pack at one time, and I got, it was either 5 or 6, because I couldn't find that pink truck anywhere else, so I wanted to make sure I could get it while it was there. Okay, we've got one more after this, and then we'll get to do our second layer of ribbons. This is where it really starts to come together, or I think so, when we do that second row of ribbons. And you could really do this design and not even use a sign or an attachment. You literally could pick out whatever theme you like and use this pattern and design and not even have to add anything to it to have a beautiful wreath. I was actually thinking today, I've got a bunch of lemon ribbon, so I was thinking about doing a lemon design without attachments. So I haven't decided fully on that, because I already have 2 other lemon designs to do, so I might hold off on that, but that's always an option. And if you don't have a sign or an attachment to match your colors to, you would just, whatever your favorite ribbon is, whatever your primary ribbon is, you would base everything, all your selections off of that. Okay, so let me grab these 12-inch pieces. The ribbons are cut to 12 inches. Okay, so I put the pink with the truck, right? I want to keep my patterns on top the same that I did on the bottom. So again, I'm going to do pink with the truck. And this little truck, I don't know if I showed you guys, but it has like a beige background too, which kind of just ties all of it together nicely. Okay, and I forgot to show you how I did that, so I'll do it on the next one. Sorry. Okay, so when I lay these ribbons in on top, instead of doing a V, I make a small X on the table in front of me with my ribbons. Like that. And then once I have them lined up pretty closely, I just scrunch right up the middle of them and pinch the 2 sides together. And then just hold it between my fingers so you have like an X, and then you're just going to lay your X straight down in your pipe cleaner, twist it in there 3 or 4 times, And then I trim off the extra, leaving about 1/2 inch or so. And I take that piece that's sticking up and I push that down inside and I squeeze that to securely hold my ribbons. That way I can tug and pull on my ribbons and they're not gonna go anywhere. And I can make them lay the way I want them to lay so that I have the look I want. And then when I'm fluffing out my ribbons, I'm just going in down here next to the pipe cleaner and kind of pushing up from the bottom. So up under here, I'm pushing up to create an arch. And then I just curl outward and curl this little end kind of so it lays around the mesh. Okay. Lost my pink ribbons for a second. I recently did a bumblebee and a ladybug garland. Did you guys? I did the ladybug on live. Did anybody get to see that one? I have not put that one on YouTube yet. I'll probably be working on that tomorrow, maybe. Sometime the beginning of the week, it'll go on there. And I'm just rotating the patterns back and forth. I can't remember if I said that or not. So I do the pink truck and then I do the white bunny. And then next I'll do the pink truck again. Okay, truck. We've got 2 more sets. And then we'll be ready to attach our little truck to this. Hi, Teresa. One more. Oh, whoops. Well, I dropped them both, guys. Alright, so we got the truck. And then also with this truck, this was attached to the bottom hanging down from the truck, like that. And I detached the two. And this also has the beige outline around it. Because I'm going to attach them to my wreath separately. I'm going to put this under the truck, but I want it to sit closer to the truck than it would have if I had left them connected. And I've already wired this part. I'm going to show you guys how I did that. We're going to do the truck. So I always use my metal metal hole punch from Amazon. I only use the one that's made of all metal because it's very durable, very strong. I had started off with a plastic one because I seen another wreath maker buy, it was metal on the ends and then plastic, and it broke. I think in not even 2 months time it broke on me. So I use the all metal one, and then I'm going to use floral wire from the Dollar Tree. It's 100 feet, and it's 26 gauge. And if you've watched my videos before, then you know I always cut my wire pieces really long because it makes it easier for me to feed down through all the mesh and ribbons. I don't have arthritis yet, but as much as I work with my hands, that's a real possibility for my future. So I try to make it as easy on myself as I can. Okay, and so once I cut my pieces of wire, I already did the hole punches, but I just take my metal hole punch and I just put a hole right here on the end, and then I did one over here on the other end. And I'm going to show you guys, the hole is very tiny. That's why I like using the metal hole punch. You can't really even see it, and once it's on the wreath with all the mesh and stuff, ribbons laying around it, you won't see those holes. And then you'll notice this had a hanger on it, so there's 2 holes up here, but the way this will lay inside of the wreath, it will be, those holes are going to be covered up by the mesh, so they're not really noticeable either. Now I know there's ways you can fill those in with putty and stuff like that if you wanted to do that instead of having those holes. Another thing you can do, I don't know how a bow would look on a truck, but I've seen people make little teeny bows and use them to cover those holes. Okay, so once I feed the wire through, I just even it up in the back as close as I can. And then when I twist my knot and my wire, I do it over top of the hole that I made because I want the wires to come straight out the back of my sign and not off from the side. Okay. Make sure sign more secure when you attach it, less wobbly. So I just twist it like 4 or 5 times, and that's it. Now we were ready for that side. Let's turn it around. Do the same exact thing on the other side. Pulled that one through too far. Okay, that's pretty close. So I'm just pulling it kind of tight, twisting the knot over top of the hole. Okay, and now we're ready to attach it. And move all this stuff out of the way so I don't want these wires and stuff to get caught on my mesh. Okay, so I'm just going to bring it here and I'm going to position it kind of towards the top half because I'm going to put that little sign down here. So I'm just going to try to work him in here. Probably right about there. So I'm going to try to come in between these pieces of mesh here and just feed it down to the bottom. I'm going to wrap around 2 of the rings on the frame. Or I'm going to try to. Okay. And then I'm just going to twist the wire around itself several times. I probably twist it 8 to 10 times. I don't think that that's a set requirement. I've said that before, but I never know who's new watching me, so I just like to make sure it's good and secure, so I just twist a bunch. I'm going to trim off the extra because I made my piece really long. And then I'm just going to take this end wire that's still here and I'm going to wrap it around this ring. And I'm just going to wrap it a few times and push the pointy end up inside. That leaves this smooth and make sure that nobody's going to get poked. Okay, and then come over here. We're gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna lift up all this mesh. Okay. I think I'm gonna go right down through here. This is the hardest part for me, you guys. Feeding the wires down through. And I have to do it twice with this one because I decided I wanted to attach the signs separately. I just think it looks better that way than just like having that Happy Easter hanging there and doesn't sit right. Okay, so I'm just doing the same thing on this side. I'm gonna twist the wires around themselves several times. Cut off the extra. And then push it up inside just like I showed you. So just wrapping it around the ring and pushing it up in there. Okay, and now I'm just gonna do the exact same thing with the Happy Easter, making sure that I put it right side up, so that it actually says Happy Easter and isn't backwards or upside down. And I'm just pulling down slightly on my signs. I don't pull too hard because I don't want to sink them down inside of the mesh. I want them kind of floating on top. I'm gonna poke myself trying to hide the wires. Okay, and we'll come to this side and do the same thing. Okay, we've almost got this one done. Cut off the wires and hide the sharp edge. And then that is what it looks like. Oh, I need to tighten the truck. It's sliding because it's where I was pushing and pulling on it. So when we get done, I'll just go behind and pull my wires down and tighten that a little bit so it stays up. But there it is. Probably adjust my ribbon tails too, because I always do some adjustments when I get done, when I hang it up, because you can see better what it looks like when you actually, I have a door that I use all my doors inside my house actually. I have wreaths everywhere. So I just hang it up on a door and look at it and make final adjustments that way. It's a good way to make sure that you like your overall design. Well, thank you guys for joining me. Thank you, Teresa. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. I probably will not be live tomorrow. We had a dear family member pass away a couple days ago, and the funeral is going to be tomorrow. So I probably won't be live tomorrow, but I'll definitely be back. I'll have another one ready to go on Monday. Okay. Let's see, I think someone else commented. I want to make sure I answer before I log off. You're very welcome. Thank you guys. You guys have a great evening and enjoy the rest of your weekend. All right, take care.